So we've understood the importance of emotional self awareness, its importance for teachers, and also the various strategies for developing emotional self awareness. Now we come to the second subcomponent of self competence, which is emotional self management. Now, obviously, we have seen how important self awareness is, but what after that? So we just don't need to understand our emotions, but we also need to manage our emotions. In fact, self management is self regulation, right? In a way, and self regulation has been considered as a master virtue. And that is a part of emotional intelligence, right? So that's how important and that's how powerful it is. So, yes, after you understand your own self, after you understand your own emotions, comes emotional self management. How do we manage our emotions? Well, so we need to exercise self control on our emotions, right? We need to delay gratification. We need not to get tempted all the times. Okay, so controlling our emotions, right? Managing our emotions. That's a better term, managing. Also, being able to think clearly under pressure and not letting our emotions control us. Having said or having talked about the importance of emotions in our life, if they are out of control, it becomes a problem. So, yes, emotions are important, but we need to manage them because if they are out of control, they are going to impede our logical thinking. Okay, we will not be able to think correctly in a certain situation. Remaining calm, thinking clearly, staying focused in the face of pressure, and also having a control over your mood swings. Another very important part of self management or emotional self management is self motivation, right? How do you motivate yourself? How do you push yourself a little harder to attain your goals, right? So, self motivation refers to having a sense of purpose and then trying to look for resources to reach one's goal. And this is quite related to intrinsic motivation. That means the motivation is not coming from outside of you, which is extrinsic motivation. You're not doing something to attain some external reward, but you're doing something, you're pursuing a goal because it satisfies you. It gives you happiness. Okay, so that intrinsic motivation, right? A very important part of self motivation is achievement orientation. Obviously, when we are growing as a person, when we are motivated as a person, we set goals for ourselves. We look forward to the future. And achievement orientation means that you always set challenging goals for yourself. Okay, and then you try to motivate yourself to attain those goals. So, achievement orientation refers to an optimistic striving to continuously improve performance. Well, when we're talking about achievement orientation, and as you can look at the next point, which is striving towards excellence, let me tell you that it is not just about competing with other people. Okay, excellence is also competing with your own self, with your past self. So if you've scored, a certain kind of marks in an exam, you try to do better in the next exam. If you have given a very good lecture, you know, but you try to better yourself in the next lecture. That is what self motivation is all about. So, people who are achievement oriented, they set high goals for themselves, they set challenging goals for themselves. Okay, now, as you can see, that self regulation, self management is so important for us. But for teachers, again, it's really important. How? Let's see. We've talked in the earlier slides that we are doing a range of activities throughout the day. We are interacting with our students, with our colleagues, with our administrators, with parents. So I think the best thing that we need to do is, or that one really important thing that we need to do is to manage our emotions, right? Staying calm under pressure. We've just seen how stressful this job can be, but if you're able to maintain your calm, if you're able to maintain your composure, I think that would be really helpful. Having a sense of purpose. Now, this relates to self motivation. right? Having a larger purpose in life. And with that, you will be able to connect those smaller goals in your life. And I think it's really important because, see, when we reflect having a purpose in our life, I think it rubs on to our students because I'm not saying that we have to be role models all the time, but you may not be aware, but the students are looking at you. They are looking at what you're doing. And maybe you're not even aware of it, but they are inspired by you. So I think when we have that kind of a aim in life, and we have that kind of a purpose in life, I think it really impacts the life of the students as well. Setting challenging goals for ourselves. Okay, so being a little achievement oriented, and I have told you, not looking at it in a negative sense of the term, trying to look at it in terms of being better than what you've done in the past. Okay, trying to do much, much more this time than you've done in the past, working hard to achieve those goals. Okay, so once we set our goals, we also motivate ourselves to attain those goals. We look for various pathways through which we can reach those goals. And if we face certain obstacles, we are able to overcome those obstacles and reach our goals, motivating ourselves and looking at obstacles as challenges rather than threat. I think this is really important. If you're a highly motivated person, if you are working towards a goal and somewhere you face some obstacles, you will not give up. You will look as to how you can navigate around those obstacles to reach your goal. So we've seen how important self management is for us. Okay, so let's see how we can develop emotional self management in us. While using emotions in a positive way, like I said, looking at the way, how we perceive our emotions. So we should look at them in a positive way. We should give them that kind of importance, and only then we'll be able to work with our emotions in a positive way. Reducing the intensity of distressing emotions. Well, as you can see, if we talk about anxiety, stress, anger, if they go out of control, it may lead to a lot of negative outcomes for us. So we need to reduce the intensity of these emotions. Now, I want to say something really important here, that we're not saying that anxiety or stress or anger is not important. I mean, they are really, really important emotions and they are really functional for our life. But at the same time, if they go beyond a certain limit, they may cause problems for us. Okay, so we need to manage our emotions. Trying to adopt a positive emotional state. Now, again, having said that, it does not mean that we have to be sunny, happy go lucky all the time. No. But as much as we can, because there are ups and downs in our life, there are ups and downs throughout a single day. As much as we can, we should try to adopt a more positive kind of an emotional state. We should try and anticipate the negative consequences of emotions. We should try to see that if an emotion goes out of hand, goes out of control, what negative outcomes can it lead to? Okay, so then we are more aware about the implications of our emotions. Finding a safe outlet for venting. Well, this is really, really important. Maybe you're really angry and you really want to go and shout at somebody, but that's not a healthy way of venting out. So maybe, you can write it in a journal. Maybe you can express it with a person. You can share your emotions with your friend or your parents or anyone who you trust, so that when you talk to the person concerned, your emotions are not here and there and they are under control. Writing down about emotional experiences. I think this, throughout my slides, I'll be talking about that. I think writing about our emotions makes us really, really aware, because when you write about certain things, your thoughts get more structure, your ideas get more structure, you get more understanding of your emotions in this case. So, writing is really recommended. Then, seeking social support. If you're not able to manage our emotions, then we can seek the help of other people. Maybe they can help you in guiding you how to manage your emotions. People who you consider are really emotionally intelligent. Stop blaming others. I think this is really, really important. A lot of the times we say, you made me angry, you are giving me a lot of stress. So we always try to externalize the cause of our emotions, right? The first thing that we need to do, and I will be elaborating upon this in my later slides as well, that we need to own our emotions. Okay, so we should stop blaming others as causing certain emotions in us, right? We should also try to look at how we are responsible up for our emotional state. Calming down, obviously, not overreacting in situations. Also, now most of these points are related to self motivation, which is being aware of your needs, your goals, your motives in life, and having appropriate role models to emulate. A lot of the times, when we look at people who are inspiring around us, we try to follow in their footsteps, and that through that we find motivation for ourselves. Setting realistic yet challenging goals. I think there are a lot of principles about goal setting, that you need to be specific. You need to break down larger goals into smaller goals. And another important thing is that your goals should be realistic. If you set very high unrealistic goals for yourself and you experience failure, that is going to reduce your self efficacy, your confidence in your own ability to do that certain task. So one should set realistic goals for themselves. Having a desire to perform better than the last time. This we have discussed already. Competing with your own self and trying to do better each time. Picking up activities one has always desired to do. Okay, so when you're managing your emotions, a very good way of calming yourself is to pursue your hobbies and not just work, work, and work. You should also try to, delve into other interesting activities in which you find flow, in which you find engagement. Taking responsibility for oneself. Like I said, do not always blame other people to say, you have done this, you have done that. And because of you, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling stressed out. We need to take responsibility for our own selves, right? Looking for ways to inspire oneself. Do something which surprises you, okay, and inspires you, so you can be an inspiration for your own self. Once you're able to attain your goals, you're able to surprise yourself. Okay, so try to do that, and also motivate yourself to achieve your goals. I think these are the ways in which we can enhance our self management. We can regulate our emotions in a really positive way, and it will lead to a lot of positive outcomes in our life.